Check 1, 2. Hey, looks like everything still works. Let me dust off the dust here for a second. All right. Well, it's been a while, guys. So we're gonna try this out. There might be a few hiccups in the road, but we're gonna give it a whirl, see what happens. So I wanted to kick off our streams again with a good old-fashioned Star Wars Shatterpoint night, since we still have plenty of those to do, and I need to get these done for our client because he's been hankering to get them back, which I don't blame him. So we're gonna start tonight with good old Luke Skywalker from Return of the Jedi pose. See, he's got that black uniform on. He's got that more of a stoic face. A little bit more seasoned veteran look going on. So we're gonna start with him, and the pants that I'm gonna start with our grayscale. Since he's mostly in black, that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna use being AK paints tonight. I'm gonna be using just good old AK black, a graphite for my medium, and then silver gray. These have been pretty decent for me. I'm actually really enjoying the AK line so far. So this is where we're gonna start. So for the primer, I've only used some black Vallejo primer, just as I normally do in the studio here. I'm gonna get this palette loaded up so we can start playing with this paint. Now, usually with black, I tend to go on the cold side. So I use like more like gray blues and stuff like this, but I just don't feel like that's gonna be the call for this green lightsaber. So we're gonna give this a whirl. If I don't like it, I can always switch over to the blue-gray side, but we're gonna see what it looks like first. Alright, there he is. Look at that handsome bloke right there. Alright. Well, that cable's gotta move. Alright, let's start with a little bit of this black just so we have a uniform. And I'm thinking right here on the chest. Start right here on the chest, right here. So this looks like I'm just painting black on black, and you would be right. You would be very right. But there's a reason that I'm doing this. So not all the blacks are the same. They are not worth the same. So if I plan on using this AK black, it's not going to match the Vallejo primer. So I want to make sure that I give myself a little bit of a boundary so I can use both together. So when I have to put black down on AK, it actually looks like it belongs. Alright, so I'm going to add a little bit of this gray graphite. That was my medium tone in with a little bit of this black. So I can do a little bit of sketching here. So let's see here. He's got this big arc right here in this front. Another one right there. A little bit more on the chest. I don't have to be extremely clean on this stage. I'm just kind of sketching. We'll be doing a little bit of cleanup as we go anyways. Not as much of it's going to poke out as you think it is, even though it's got that gray in there. But as you can see, it's going to start, bringing out the shapes that we need. So I'm going to go ahead and a little bit more of that graphite into my black blob here. Slowly start building this out here. So let's knock this line out right there. Of course we need this ridge. Get that line. As you can see, we're starting to get some shapes. So I'm just going to keep working this. So I'm going to add a little bit more graphite in there. I'm going to get more and more subtle as I go. So this should look a lot brighter as I lay it down, but it's also a lot thinner. So don't be surprised as it starts to disappear as it dries. That is intentional. So now I'm also going to work the opposite way. So I'm going to add a little bit more black in there. I'm going to make it extremely thinned out. Reestablish some of my shadows. This is where that first coat of black that I added is important. Because that is what this black is now trying to blend into. Very easy to go too far with black. So for example here, now let's start working in his armpit area here. This is that little bit of graphite with black. While we got it on the brush here, let's come up here and hit his sleeve. All right. I'm going to come back up into that gray that we made. All right. And just like that, start filling out the black there. You see, like, get all those definitions starting to pop out. So we're going to just keep moving along here. Now, he doesn't have a lot going on, because he, for this film, decided to dress in all black. I mean, I think even if his glove is black, if I remember right. So it doesn't really give us a lot of room for what colors we're picking, but we do have some things we can play with, like OSL, stuff like that. When it comes to the saber itself, we can bring it in, which give it a little bit more intrigue when you look at a model. Big things I'm trying to aim for right now is like the outside of pant legs and the ridges, and with a suitable color, so that way it fades into it, gives it a little bit more characteristics, but doesn't take over the black. We're trying to accent it, not remove it, which is really easy to do when you're working on such close colors. So kind of just have to be subtle and slowly build up and make sure you don't go too far overboard. All right, we're going to jump up a little bit more into our gray. Paint the crotchal region here. Once you start getting it down, you'll start to see the flow of where you want your paint to go, and it'll actually start making more and more sense. Come up here and feather out some of these lines. They're a little harsh. I'm going to mark this for silver later, so I'm just going to grab some graphite. Just get something on it there. So I'm going to do a little bit of different technique on the boots just to help bring it out compared to the rest. But let's continue moving around so we can just get this black out of the way. So we're going to aim for this recesses right here. Then this is pure black. I'm going to come in here with that little bit of graphite, the black, just to bring up the gray. All right, I'm going to add a little bit more gray in there. Oh, I mean, I have a mic. I just was trapped in painting Luke's butt. All right, start getting some flesh in there, shall we? Oh, what do I got? Start with that. So for base tone, I'm going to use AK Tan Earth just to establish some richness in his face. Go grab his good hand, one he kept. We got some basic coats on his skin here. This flat earth. Now we're going to move over to a medium flesh, maybe. I haven't decided. I think that might be too tan for the likes of him. So I'm actually going to skip possibly that. Go for maybe a little bit more. So we'll go with the basic skin tone. So this is a little bit more on the beige side than the sandy tan. And I'm going to use the same technique. So I'm going to take some of this flat earth because I want some of that brown. And I'm going to add that basic skin tone in there. So with this, I'm going to go in and start accenting areas of his face. So let's see here. It looks like we need a little bit on his jawline. He's got this ridge right here. It's going to look a little weird at first. It's fine. Sketching always looks weird. Come down here to separate from the hair. Pull into those cheeks, leaving some of the darkness in the cheeks. Feathering right here. All right, so we're going to add a little bit more pink into that. Bring it up to the next stage. Be a little bit more selective where we put it. Oh, those other eyes are going to be difficult because obviously they had to put an arm in the way. And we're going to go and just reconstruct around those eye sockets. It's always fun when you got to paint upside down. You gotta do what you gotta do. All right. This is where eyes look funny at first. And as all you painters know, eyes are the funnest part. Just one step, too much water, and boom, there goes the eyeball. It's gone. I need to let that dry here for a second. Come on, brush, behave for me. Okay, let's see if I can get the other eye. Love your work. Wife and I will be stopping in the shop soon to play some games soon. Awesome, Mike. Look forward to seeing you and meeting you in person. Thank you. We're going to bring out some of the flesh here in the hands. Make it look like he's white knuckling that saber for his dear life. Angry Daddy comes at him. Luke, I did not pay child support. Let's bring up that hand. Okay, so now that we got this palish face, because he's got a little bit more, warmth in his face, most of the time at least. So I'm gonna get a concoction ready for that. So I'm gonna go to my GW side and I'm gonna use Reichland Flesh Shade and Laha Medium, as long as I can find it on my desk. It's alright. I found it on my desk. We're good. We good. Alright, so what we're gonna do is not a very big face, so we're just gonna get a drop in there. Or 2 drops, be on the safe side. Do a drop of Reichland in there. Mix that up. I'd recommend using a more beat up brush than your detail brush. That's what I should have done, but I didn't. A little late. Start bringing in some warmth into his face now that I've got everything where I want it. Now that I got that on there, I'm going to quickly empty my brush. I'm going to go poke his eyeballs so I can pull out the shade. I want it to accent. I want to keep the white of his eyes though. Alright, he still looks funny, but I think the reason he still looks funny right now is because his hair is black and Luke's hair was not black. Might look like it in some shots, but for the most part, it's not black. It is brown. Alright, so for that, let's see what we got. Do some more tan earth, but I don't think that's going to be where I want to go. Leather brown into mahogany. I think that'd be a good choice for starting at least. So let's lay down some leather brown and see what we can go from there. So this would be AK brown for a base coat. This guy right here. Load up my brush here and let's see if we can get his face to pop out with the right hair color. See if that helps. Now this might be too bright. That's fine. We're going to come in here with a little bit of wash and shade and even it out. Alright, I think it's definitely starting to help bring out the vibe of Luke Skywalker. I think it's still off just a hair, but definitely going in the right direction here. Let me go ahead and clean up a couple spots here. I did bring out some mahogany because a lot of the things I've seen is a little bit more of a red. Pull up a picture here. Yeah. It's got like that golden brown a lot of times. So let's do this. Let's go with some dark shade first, and then go from there. I'm going to get a little bit of the mahogany out of there just because in case I want to play with that color. But let's get some Argrax out and see what she does. So I'm going to use the same technique I just did with the Reichland. This is what a good lot medium is for. So I'm going to go with that 1, 2 drop. Drop in that dark Argrax. This will help thin it out, and it actually makes the color a little bit lighter. With that richness, I don't want to overdo it. Okay. Same thing as before, we'd go in and just make sure that, we're nice and clean. That definitely brought it to more to where I wanted. I know I see that I got some here on the inner arm, but I'm going to clean all that up once we get there. Face is a little bit more important right now. I'm actually going to flip them upside down because my shade's running a little heavy in some spots. So I'm going to use my brush to wick it away. Just give it a second to tack down. Just waiting for that shade to tack down, but as you can see, as soon as that wants to get into focus here, starting to add that little bit more definition into those hairlines so that way we can build off from that. But, he's got a little gloss going on. He's got a little too much gel in that hair. We gotta wait for that to settle down before we continue on that hair. So while I have silver out on my silver gray on my palette, might as well go ahead, just get that base coat off of that black. So that way we can get ready for that saber, because who wants a dull lightsaber? I mean, who wants that? So the white coat will help the green we put on this pop out a lot more. I take a coat or two. I'm trying to keep it thin because I don't want to blob it up and then make it look like, he's got globs on a stick. There we go. That hair is really starting to tack down now, so now we can start thinking about how we're going to start working in a little bit more color to this hair. So let me get some of that leather back out here and start working on it. I'm going to start filling out all these shapes that he's got in his hair. So this will help, increase the volume and bring definition to that hair. And it's at these points where we can start bringing in other brighter colors as well to start accenting that brown that we just built. Even though it looks pretty good on its own, we can bring it into another shape yet. So this is where we can bring in like this light brown here just to brighten up this leather bit. Maybe add a little bit of that mahogany in there just to give it a little bit more of a rich tone to it. Of course, you can't forget the other side here. All right, I think we need another spot of light color. It's a little light for my liking yet. I feel like we can bring it out a little bit more. That in there for a second. We're starting to get some nice volume on that hair. And we can keep taking this up as high as we want. So like, for example, I'm actually taking some of that highlight for the peach tone that I have and throwing it in there because it's technically on the same range. So we can literally pop that in there too. But I don't want too much of it. I want them to be accents in the hair. Too much of it, I'm going to start making them look old. This is Return of the Jedi, not whatever they call that movies after that. I refuse to accept it. Might be just because I'm old. Now let that sit here for a second. All right. All right, let's see if this is going to be good for a green lightsaber. Is that you, Devin? Is that the neighbor upstairs? No, I think that's from the ceiling. Oh yeah. Get a nice coat of Tesseract glow on here. I'm going to change up his belt a little bit here, get a little bit of NMM going on this one just because I can. I got a little bit of time left. 7:30. All right. Well, other than that, I'm going to touch up a little bit of this black, and we're going to get the base painted, and we're going to go from there. But that's basically what Luke's going to look like for right now. So I'm going to get a picture of this up into the Discord for everybody to see, and then I'll get a complete one later. But other than that, that's all the time I have. Thanks for stopping in and seeing our streams. It's been a while since we've streamed. Something that we've been working on. We just had a lot going on with the new store opening and everything else. So if you're in the area, come down and check it out. If not, looking forward to seeing you in the next stream. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks. Bye.